Hey, what's up, guys? This is Brian from Status 74, and this is another Real Talk TV video covering the Quantum X P-Series. This is in a direct questions to you guys about the P-Series and also about perhaps me buying the C9 OLED. What I'm looking for, why I would purchase them, why I'm not worried about burn-in, and what I would be looking for in terms of flaws with both technologies, and they won't be exactly what you think. Before the video starts, I want to give a shout out and a dedication to my grandfather Pasquale, who passed away this morning, very early this morning. He was in his early 90s, and wanted to give him the dedication and to really thank you guys on a personal level for being there. The friendship and community, this is not merely a distraction for me. The channel is a friendship and a community. It's not a job. I don't have it as a job. It's just something that I enjoy doing. So even with this passing, I am a little slower in returning the comments in the last few videos. I have been getting back to you guys, but I really do appreciate your patience. Also, Instagram has not been behaving properly on my phone, so I'm behind on those messages as well. So please just keep patience for me. I really appreciate it. And just a shout out and dedication to my grandfather. Thank you guys as always for being there. So quickly, between the Vizio Quantum X P-Series and the C9, what I want to talk about is when purchasing the Quantum X, I'll be looking to hopefully order it as it's still on sale until July 14th. I will be away just after that. So it'll really be dependent on when that delivery date will be and if I'll be able to delay that delivery so I won't be gone for that period of time when it will be delivered. Now, what will I be looking for? Before I start on the Quantum X, I had sent a message to artings.com through Facebook. You can message them directly. They will get back to you. They got back to me, and I'm not on there as Whisper Status. I'm on there as the guy that was bugging them in 2016 and 2017. And one day I will read all those messages to you. They're actually pretty embarrassing about how the nightmare was going in real time. But they responded to me, and my simple question was that a lot of us, and I told them about the channel, were curious when the review would be up. And a lot of us are basing our purchase on their numbers and their findings. And what I'm looking for, guys, is the same, to be honest, if the Quantum X, for me, performs the same way as the Quantum P-Series last year, but just at 75 inches, it'll be a buy for me. If it is behind that in any way, shape, or form, it will not be a buy. Meaning, if it does behave with a lower contrast, if there are big steps back at all from last year's Quantum P-Series, it won't be a buy, and we'll do a video on that if that's what we find. Artings responded to me and said that their review will be released on Wednesday or Thursday. I imagine that would be the one on the website, and we'll probably do a video review to follow after. Now, their numbers aren't always 100%. They don't cherry pick their displays. Their findings will be on that specific model, which all the reviewers kind of do, but they are getting what they buy. So I know them to be pretty accurate, and they're very good, and I like all the things they focus on. So that's the first thing that I'll be, or the last thing I'll be relying on. The reviews of them have been pretty vague. They've been good. None of them have been bad, but not detailed enough for my tastes. So I'll be looking for their go-ahead, and then I'll make the purchase. At home, when I get it, what will you see? Well, you'll see me obviously unbox it and show you just not really the unboxing process, but what to look for when unboxing your displays, how to handle them, how to be careful with the bezel, not to squeeze the bezel, to just be very mindful, especially with OLEDs. And then you'll see it go against the Sony 900E, which is my primary display, which is in the background, which is causing this picture to dim. You'll be seeing it go against the 900E, which is not really even 1,000 nits. It's full array, but is one of the best displays ever made. It does everything very well. I'm looking for the Vizio Quantum X P-Series to blow it away. Blow it away in terms of contrast, in terms of peak brightness, in terms of black level, in terms of HDR performance, darkroom performance, bright room performance, gaming performance. Now, I'm not going to be hooking up any machines to it. It's just going to be by eye. You guys will see all of it. You will actually see them side by side on a table in the daylight, in the dark, playing the same demos. That is my plan. I will have 3 months with the display. Full disclosure is I'm looking to keep it. And full disclosure is, if it's not up to my standards, defective or not, I will not keep it. Meaning that it's not going to be worth $3,000 to me if it doesn't beat the Sony 900E handily. Now, why does that matter to you guys? Well, to me, the 900E could still hang against many of the displays that are out right now. I think it's the 950G is slightly better, so I'll get a good sense of how the Vizio compares to displays that are current. It should blow it away. In my opinion, the Quantum P-Series from last year, if it hung toe-to-toe with the amazing Q9FN, then that is a display worth keeping. Now, I'm going to explain to you why that is. In 2016, there was a display called the Sony Z9B. There was also a display called the Samsung KS9800. They were both full array. In my opinion, they were equals. They were incredible. Very little blooming, if any, very, very bright. They could go toe-to-toe with OLED because the black levels were so deep, but the peak brightness was so fierce. I mean, beautiful displays that I could see them hanging with OLED. Other than the off-angle viewing, I could really see them hanging in there. That's what I'm looking for, guys. That's what the Sony 900E is based on. It has very little blooming itself. I'm not looking to go backwards in any way, shape, or form. Why the Vizio intrigues me is Samsung and Sony are going in a different direction. Samsung is focusing on 8K, HDMI 2.1, viewing angles, reflections. The Q90R is still excellent, so is the Q80R, but they're going in a direction that I personally, just myself, is not interested in. I'm not interested in viewing angles. I'm not interested in reflective screens. I'm interested in zone count, high peak brightness, HDR performance, gaming performance. Now, Samsung is still focused on LED until they do micro LED, which, guys, isn't coming today. It's not here, so I really don't want to talk about micro LED as a viable option against the OLED or LED, since it's not here. It's not even purchasable. So to keep saying, wait for micro LED, that is definitely your prerogative, guys, but it's not here. I don't have any release dates on it. There's no hint that it'll be here next year. So to me right now, it is a prototype that isn't ready for prime time. We can talk about it when it's actually here. As of right now, we have LED, we have OLED. LED is going in a direction that I don't want, except for Vizio. Vizio is back a little bit. They looks like, at least that's what I'm waiting for in terms of Arting's review. They're going on what's important to me. Peak brightness, zone count, performance, picture, HDR, Dolby Vision. That's why I'm giving them a shot. Bargain brand or not. The TCL, the Hisense, they are still in that bargain brand category, which is fantastic because I would like bargain brand categories to have full array local dimming, Dolby Vision. I would buy either of those TVs. The TCL at $75 and the Hisense at $75. I would not buy them to replace the display that I currently have, though. That is key. But if I was new into this market, I would look at them definitely as a viable option, guys. So why? They in the LED space their interests are aligned with mine. That is the selfish, and that is also, guys, when you look at people that review products or that have opinions on products, including myself, anybody on YouTube, any reviewer, Vincent, Artings, it's not just they're judges, right? So other than their numbers, they have an opinion, and their opinion is also on their specific tastes. My specific tastes is vibrancy, is black level. So I'm somewhere in the middle where somebody like, say, Vincent is very specific to accuracy, calibration, numbers. I like the numbers as a guideline, but I want to see what's on screen. I'm not going to just look at numbers and say, yep, that looks incredible. I want to see the numbers and say, okay, yeah, that's what I like. And what I mean by that is I'm not opposed to putting in live color. I'm not opposed to using dynamic contrast. I'm not opposed to soap opera effects. We'll do videos on those settings and when I use them and how I like them, but I don't dislike any of those. I like some of those on content that can handle it. I like motion and animation. I love animation mode and live color and all that stuff. I do like some of the saturation that Samsung and LG provide. I have a Sony LED, I love it. I do miss the pop of those other LEDs that we were talking about. So back to the Z9D and the KS9800. For me, in my opinion, that's as good as it ever got. Just my opinion. Z9D, slow pixel response, was not perfect, had some motion issues, and was very expensive. KS9800 for me had a gaming defect where blue light went up and down the screen. I had 3 of those. Very expensive. If you want to see the very first videos on my channel, those are the KS9800. But they're the best LEDs I have ever seen. The next best LED I had ever seen is the Q9FN. If the Q9FN launched today, I would be looking to purchase that display. Right now, the only displays on my radar are the Quantum XP series at 75 inches, guys. And guys, I'm not going down in size. I appreciate all the recommendations of going down in size. It's not going to happen. I am a home theater nut. It's all about immersion for me. I worked my way up to a 75. It's only 75 and up, which makes my choices limited. So, the Vizio Quantum C series, why I want it is that it does have almost that old school, if it's old school, a couple years ago thought process on that type of picture quality. I have no interest in the Q90R, in the Q80R, Q70R, the 950G, as to me it's a little bit better than a 900E. Again, the Q90R, the Q80R, I recommend these displays every day. I think they're awesome, but it needs to be a big jump versus what I have. And since they're going away from what I have in terms of its zone count and its blooming, it's not better than what I have enough for me to make that kind of commitment. Is the Q90R better than 900E? Absolutely, no doubt, there's no argument. However, where it's going is different than where this one is in terms of its blooming. I would like less blooming. I would like a substantial jump in peak brightness, not a few hundred nits, double if I can get it. Double, triple zone count, better black level. So what will I be looking for with the Quantum XP series? I will be looking for clipping in the bright scenes with HDR. I will be looking for gradation or screen gradation as far as banding in the sky with videos like Martian and some of the other 4K Blu-rays. I'll be looking at Dolby Vision, not just through the app, but through a 4K player. I'll be looking at its gaming performance. I'll be looking at the difference in the feeling between input lag on HDMI's 1 through 4 and HDMI 5, which is a low latency, low input lag input. Those are the things I'll be looking for. And I'll be looking in its comparison. Now, blooming is primarily, blooming and one other thing is its local dimming are 2 things I'm super interested in. Blooming off angle doesn't exist to me. If I care less about it, I will be in front of a 75-inch display, meaning that it'll be as wide as my arms, and that's all I care about. I don't care how it looks off in my kitchen or outside my window. That'll be what I care about. Blooming on screen, I am realistic with blooming. If there's a little bit of blooming around a loading screen or around subtitles, the 900E doesn't really have that. It has it around subtitles, not subtitles, it has it around like loading screens on pure black. So if the Quantum XP series can build upon that, maybe even be a little bit less, it'll be a keeper. If the peak brightness washes out the image, this is why contrast is so important, guys. Peak brightness means absolutely nothing without contrast. Contrast, black level, high, high, low. If that high peak brightness has great contrast, it'll be awesome, and awesome for a darkroom environment, which is where I am. If it is so bright that it washes out the image, I had a KS9000, I love that display. It was very, very bright, but there were times where I had to knock gamma way down to make the display have the contrast I wanted it to have. Knocking down gamma with HDR enabled is a no-no because it needs to be at neutral in order for HDR to be properly shown. Can't lower that brightness or I'm out of HDR, which is why they have those numbers jump up. So those are things I'll be looking for with the Quantum XP series. If it is defective for any reason, you guys will see it. If it sucks or is terrible, and I don't like saying things suck, but if it's awful, you will know about it. That will be what we will all see. The other thing I am concerned about with the Quantum XP series and the regular Quantum is how smooth is its local dimming algorithm. If we pan across the screen and I can see very short and in severe drops in color, meaning that in a movie, if something pans the sky, if I can see the screen, darken behind that image, then that'll be a clumsy local dimming, which is why the Q9FN beat the Quantum P-Series, is because of the elegance of their local dimming versus the Quantum P-Series local dimming. Local dimming, is it seamless? Is it patchy? If it's patchy and I see it and I feel it, it'll take me out of it. Now guys, immersion for me is being immersed, obviously, but things that break your immersion, blooming in black bars, banding, dead pixels, but things like that break immersion. Pixelation, I'll be immersed in something. Video games, if I see that, it's like, oh, and then you can't unsee it. Now, I'm obviously going to be pickier than many of you, but many of you are as well. So, about 5 minutes left of this video, we're going to talk about LG and the C9. The C9 will be the display I will pick up if things don't work out with the Quantum XP series. I will give the Quantum XP series 2 displays. If they are defective, I will not go past 2. I will not get a bunch of them. I won't do that. I would then look at the C9, which is the OLED that I like. I love the Sony OLEDs. I do like that saturation of the LG. I do like the peak brightness of the LG. I would then go for the HDMI 2.1 as I have a PC, and I could utilize the 4K at 120 down the road. It's not a reason to buy it, but it would be a reason I would purchase it over the C8. C8 is still awesome. I am looking at 77 inches, guys. There's no going back to 65 for me, especially with an OLED with a small bezel. Why do I not worry about burn-in, is what you guys want to know. I am a gamer. My display would be for 85% games. So why would I pick that? A lot of you guys that have been very honest with me and told me, yeah, I have burn-in due to video games. I have burn-in due to watching TV with logos, especially in the UK, where a lot of your stations have logos. Here in the US, it's become that as well. Nickelodeon, Disney, CNN, whatever, you have that. Now, how would I negate that? Well, think about my usage. And this is where I have to give OLED some, I have to not trash it, but go after it a little bit. It should come with an owner's manual. Everything with OLED, with caring for an OLED, none of it is common sense. None of it's common sense. If you have burn-in from playing video games or you have burn-in from watching TV, that is not your fault. It is part of the technology, but it isn't common sense. If you're playing a video game for 3 or 4 hours and then you take a break, and then the next day you play that same video game for 3 or 4 hours and you take a break, that is not varying your content. Meaning that those pixels keep hitting that same bright HUD, that same score, that same Madden score, that same Call of Duty score, that same Fortnite HUD over and over and over again. Varying content would be changing games, changing to watch a movie after. Now, for a lot of you guys that say you don't want to babysit displays, I completely understand. We all have different opinions on this, but it is a level of care that if you think it shouldn't be a level of care that shouldn't be given and you shouldn't have to do that, then that is absolutely up to you and you shouldn't buy one. For me, having a plasma, I'm used to that. That's why I did that Father's Day video where I'm chasing after my kids. I have done that. I would not have an OLED if I had little kids. I would not have an OLED if all I did was watch cable TV. With tickers and channel logos, I would not have an OLED. I would not have an OLED if I was expecting my wife, partner, roommates, friends to be as careful as I am. I would not have an OLED for that reason. It's very specific. If you think about the care with an OLED, it is not common sense. Our iPads, our phones, everything we have goes to sleep. It isn't like it used to be. Your computers can stay on 24/7. I don't, but you can. Almost everything we have. Our cars shut off when we're sitting idle. What I mean by that is OLED is special that way. You need to turn them off. You need screensavers on every device. For me, I am a PC gamer. Why would I want an OLED? Well, my Windows is only up for 45 seconds. I load my game, I shut them off. I never leave my windows up. I don't do any content creation on my PC. I don't use my PC as anything other than games. I don't browse on it. I don't do anything unless I'm showing you guys something. So it's very specific. My gaming habits, I am a hardcore gamer. I do not play games more than a few hours a week. What makes me hardcore is my love and passion for gaming. I don't play Fortnite. I don't play these games for hours. I just don't have that kind of time. If you're somebody who plays video games 8 hours, 10 hours a day, that's awesome. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. I'm not saying you shouldn't play video games that much. You shouldn't have an OLED if you play games that much. You should not have an OLED if you guys play the same title over and over and over again. My content is varied every single day. My displays, full disclosure guys, I have a YouTube channel. I don't watch my TVs that much. A few hours a week tops. I don't have that kind of time. I don't watch TV that much, which is kind of ironic. So my usage, darkroom, movies, video games, varying content, screensavers on everything. No one else is watching this TV but me. I have small kids. They would not touch this. They would be using the 900E upstairs. That's where I'm at. So what I'm trying to say is, hold on one second. Sorry, guys. So I'm trying to say is that it works for me. That's why I'm not afraid. I don't play games long. I don't leave Netflix menus up. I don't leave Amazon menus up. I don't leave YouTube up. I don't watch YouTube on my TV. So these are the specific reasons why I would love OLED. Why I want it. Dark, perfect contrast, perfect motion, beautiful video games, beautiful movies, beautiful movie watching, zero blooming, perceived contrast, beautiful. Things I don't want, ABL. I don't want that it's not that bright. I would miss that high peak brightness. So these are a few things that we'll go over again if the P-Series doesn't work. But I'm going to finish this video now, but these are the things that I would look for in the Quantum X P-Series. Why I'm not afraid of burn-in at all is my specific usage. And if you want to know more about OLEDs and how they shouldn't burn in, image retention and burn-in are not the same thing, by the way. And I would help you however I can. I hope you are all well. Thank you so much for everything, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.